Okay, so I've created basically the situation that you're in with this disconnected mandible like this. I have this upper mandible with teeth attached all as one mesh. You can see that through checking the poly groups as well. One of the things, uh, since closed holes might act a little bit funny in this situation, one of the approaches here would be to mask out the teeth, then sculpt them down, import in another mesh subtool, and then shape that to the tooth. So one of the approaches, and again, you can use different ones, but this one should work, is go ahead and mask out all the teeth. Just kind of doing this real quick. Invert that selection, and you can kind of tackle this in one of two ways. One of them would be to use something like trim dynamic, come in here and chisel these down so we no longer have those teeth, since they're not very useful to us right now. And then kind of continue that process until they are all level with the gums, pretty much. Another way would be to set your gizmo at the level of the gum line, scale all of that flat. Go ahead and do a smoothing over this. And so we've removed those teeth. We don't have any of the, we don't have to worry about those now. Okay. So now that your mandible is cleaned up, depending on how you wanted to tackle that, you would then come over here and go to append. We'll say sphere. And so now we have a couple subtools here. We'll go ahead and scale that down, kind of move it into place a little bit. And then, so we're going to go ahead and use Dynamesh. You don't have to, but this does kind of make this a little bit easier. And then we kind of pull out the tooth and shape it roughly in the way a tooth might be shaped. Again, you'd probably want to look up references. Different anatomy, kind of get an idea of the best way to shape the tooth. Again, there's all sorts of different ways. So kind of get that in place. Maybe tweak the rotation just a little bit, and now we kind of have a tooth. And then we go ahead and duplicate it. So now we have another one here. And then we could just pull that over. Another way for duplicating the tooth might be to go up to Z plugin, especially since we know that our dividing axis is nice right in the middle. We can use Subtool Master from the plugin menu. So go to Z plugin, Subtool Master, Mirror, append as new subtool across the x-axis, and hit OK, and then that will mirror it, and we get our rotation that we're kind of expecting. And then we can basically repeat this process. Again, I've duplicated this. Kind of move it in place. Once that looks good on that side, again, we can go ahead and mirror it. And then we can repeat this for the rest of the teeth. And then one of the things, if you want a nicer topology, you go to Geometry, Z-Remesher, make a couple of tweaks, run Z-Remesher until we get a low topology that's easy to work with. Something along those lines. And again, you could still follow the same process, but then we won't use any of the Dynamesh. Dynamesh can also be found in Geometry. And then Dynamesh, and we have our Dynamesh button here. And then like a few of these tools. So hopefully, this will kind of get you going in the right direction. If you have any more questions, we can probably try communicating on Discord.